Hi guys, how's it going and all that? Right. I'm gonna be phoning a corporation this morning. I thought it was somebody else. I thought it was somebody on my WhatsApp phoning me, and it wasn't. And so I'm gonna phone them right now. But I'm gonna record them and let the all you out there that follow me have a listen as well. So time to expose all these wankers. You know what I mean that put me in a situation. All right. Let's see who it was. Let's have a look. Let's see who contacted me. Oh, it's not a wanker. It's somebody I do trust. Anyway, let's phone them. See what they gotta say. Oh, it's SA Properties. Funny, I've been trying to, contact them through emails, and yet no response. Hi Ben, how are you? Not really, but I saw you phoning me this morning. I did send you an email, but I don't know if my emails are getting through to you or housing options or anybody. About a week and a half ago. Oh, jeepers. Because also as well, you don't know this email address, but it's my other one, which is the teardrops 1179. I've been blocked out with that one because it keeps. I don't know if you've been noticing, but a lot of people on YouTube and all that are noticing that once you've changed your password once, because Microsoft and others are screwing people's accounts over. So once you've changed your passwords within an hour, you've got to do your password again because they want people's instead of using the old password system, they want people to use the biometrics and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like your thumbprint, your eye, and stuff like that. So if I lose my email address and you don't use me from there, just do what you did this morning. Just phone me, okay? So so what's been happening? Because I mean I phoned. I, ph- and the thing is, but the thing is, I've been contacted environmental as well. Because really, because what's been happening over the years, I know people are not going to like this answer because I've had enough now. Stop being nice. Because I've been nice with everybody. I've stopped it now. It's attempted murder. What's going on towards me? This country is trying to kill me off, and I have basically contacted environmental. They will be coming out to have a look at the property as well because this place should be not sold but demolished. Because, for one, I could have the landlord put into prison because I've taken a photo and I'm putting it on the internet today. Because the cupboard, and many electricians have agreed as well that I've talked to, the light switch shouldn't be on a cupboard because that's a fire hazard. Because electricity and wood is not good. So the landlord could be prosecuted. That's why I, if I, because when I asked the courts, can I have a video call and all that to be there, they denied it. So I I've been screwed over left, right, and centre. You know what I mean? And housing options and are not pulling their weight at all.
No, well, I've emailed her this morning to say,
Hmm.
give her this information and say that she needs to sort this out now and look at, getting this accommodation sorted for you, um, and letting you know about it.
And the thing is, as well, I mean, I should have never been put in this position in the first place. Many people are angry at South Wales at the moment because, um, yeah, I mean, because many people feel like I'm like the farmer years ago, where people try to steal his stuff from his property, and he defended his place. But mine is sort of like less than that again, because I never, attacked anybody. I never hurt anybody. All I did was kept a green door, in between me and the assailant from trying to kill me and my neighbor and friend. And when I saw
Yeah,
him, have a knife on him, and I'm a prepper, so whatever on me is going to be on me. I thought I had my, gel spray, which then would blind him. When I pulled up from my waistband, it was actually my knife. You know what I mean? And the thing is,
mm,
I was in my property, so it doesn't matter if whatever I pulled out come in my property, and basically it does say on the government website you can use equal force, and but he came there to kill me with his knife, but mine was
yeah,
basically a deterrent. And you know what I mean, the guy left, he was upset and so forth, and I lost that property. You know what I mean? And the thing is, there was like years of phone calls from me and my fiance at the time that we were getting bullied from the people. She left because of the bullying up there, so I was left on my own, and that's where everything escalated to the point where they tried to kill me and so forth. So really, I should have never lost that flat in the first place. Really, the justice system should have been on my side, but they weren't.
yeah,
And me and my friend yesterday when we were walking, and he mentioned that when he was on Discord, one of the people came in to my flat. Come out, my flat doors were open. I only went for the toilet for a couple of minutes, and one of them tried to boss me to order food and all of that. I mean, mate could you me being very calm and polite, and but yet, I mean, I got witnesses, left, right, and center, but yet people didn't want to hear. There was like thousands of YouTube videos, I mean, with which the police could have accessed what was happening, but they didn't want to, cut out speaking out against the system and all that. That's why I
yeah,
lost that property. It's like now I know what's going on. I know that the landlord himself's going to lose all his money. It doesn't matter if he gets his place back or not. I mean, if he just popped on to my Rumble account at Warrior Wales, how many people around here? I mean, I'm gonna lose everything. Yeah, I mean, I'm, and the thing is, well, it's true what they say. Yeah, I mean, it's no point knowing what's going on if the rest of the people are too damn stupid to go and check it for themselves. I used to think that was wrong, but
yeah,
what I've gone through now, it's true. Most people around here are dumb and stupid. I mean, look, you've noticed I've gone round my trolley with posters, not trying to educate people. I mean, when I was in Pontarddulais, I used to put posters up on the lampposts and stuff like that and everything, and people still
yeah, yeah,
complaining about immigrants. Immigrants ain't the problem. The problem is us, the UK people, that are ignoring people like myself, warning people. I mean, because I mean, I was happy when I said to you, I mean, there's this book, I mean, Agenda 21, and I showed you, I think I showed you the book or
yeah, yeah.
not, I can't
You
remember.
did, you did,
And
you did.
and I mean, you're a bit like me. It's like once, I mean, you saw it for yourself, you wrote it down, and I mean, you probably were busy
Yeah,
at the time, but I know you're the type of person that will go and have a look because that book shows you legislations that's going to affect everybody. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm the same as you.
Mm,
I don't know what's going on. I mean, because yeah, I mean, because over Christmas time, yeah, I mean, I was out my mind, you know what I mean? And that's why I mean, I wrote on the side of the police station, police cult, because
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what to do. I wasn't going to end up on the streets with my disability and all of that. So, something just snapped in me, and I mean, the police saw that as well and everything. They could see in my eyes on the video that I wasn't there. They could physically see, so they
Yeah,
just dropped everything. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, Gemma's just emailed back now to say that one of her team members is gonna get in touch with you
Hmm.
maybe part of next week to arrange to start arranging accommodation with you.
And the thing is as well, yeah, I mean, because what I've noticed, I mean, me and you, I mean, we've always been in agreement that they should have got the accommodation with me back in 2024,
Oh yeah,
way
yeah, yeah,
back then.
yeah,
Or then again, 2020, when I first got kicked out of a Portadillas, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
yeah,
And the landlord wouldn't have any of this. You know what I mean? And to be honest, yeah, I mean, me and my mates are still taking the piss out of the police because we call them stupid. Because I mean, if you know, because just like yourself, if you had any worries about my mental health, you would have phoned me and stuff
yeah,
like that. But the police, they just kicked in Pod, and that's another thing I'm peed about. They just kicked in Pod Davis's place and all that. No respect for him, and people think going through the legal system and all of that. While the legal system doesn't really care about his property, they don't care about you, me, or anybody really. Really, we should be taking on the legal system for screwing us all over, and we should be taking on those of parliament that bring about these legislations that's brought in the illegal immigrants to falsely take the homes of. And that's the reason I haven't found a place, because all these illegal immigrants have taken the homes that myself and a few other people that and people that I've met on down by what you call it, the home bargains this week, that are homeless, could have had by now.
yeah, yeah,
Hopefully, but the thing is, though, as you've noticed, housing options are too slow.
yeah. Very slow. They need to get it sorted out.
And
Quicker,
I, I,
sooner or later.
I have got a solution, but I
Yeah,
don't. I think what would have to do, I think, maybe housing options got to see me and Paul Davis down the office in the library,
yeah,
and just say, hey, me and Paul Davis here, I mean, actually on the same wavelength here. It's you, the authorities, that are screwing things up for us.
yeah.
I think
I
that
think
needs to be
that's right.
done.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's right.
Because they're always on about the land, saying, oh, the landlord's got to send this, oh, the landlord's got to send that, oh, we got a year from the court. No, this is, I mean, and to be honest, I reckon the police should pay for Paul Davis's home for all the damages they've done as well. Because cause as I was speaking with my mate yesterday, I said to him, I wouldn't be in this mess. I mean, if the police arrested my bullies back in, when I was living at Pontarddullas. Yeah, I mean, and what the police don't realize, and of course don't realize, this is a knock-on effect from not arresting Richard Wright. And this is almost like the universe saying, "Hey, police, you've got to deal with the people that have attacked Paul, but you're not doing it." Yeah, I mean, and because people are asking me online and so forth, I mean, on Twitch, like, I mean, why are you living in that 13 Calvary Road now? Wasn't you living at the other place
Yeah,
before? And I've told them, oh, I've lost that place now because of A, B, and C. So the word is still getting out there because people are asking me online on my streams and stuff like that. And the police don't realize, they think all they gotta do is cover up. Gwalia were part of the cover up, which now I think they call Coddy now. My mates with them,
yeah. That's right.
and I've exposed Gwalia left, right, and centre
Hmm.
because they're into a lot of dodgy stuff themselves. And
Right.
because um because over the phone and we don't know who's listening, I'll just say there's alleged money laundering going back when they were under Kamorgoy, Thai Kamorgoy or something. And
Right.
but I'll say alleged when we're over the phone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because we don't know who's listening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, and the only reason why I mean, I got thrown, reason why Guy turned to me because I was just privately looking into things, and Richard Wright didn't know what I was looking into, but he noticed on my computer table, because he came in one day, because we were friends at this point, and he saw the Guire logo next to the Freemason logo, which looks similar if you look closely, and
Yeah.
and so he went back and told Gwalia, and then I had all the heat then, and then I got kicked out, and you know what I mean, on top of the court case and everything, you know what I mean, of what happened because what I noticed beforehand, Richard's right, and Gwalia had a meeting beforehand, and so I and Richard Wright had a walkie-talkie, and I had a walkie-talkie. So when I saw Gwalia leaving, I said, "Right, Richard," and Gwalia swiveled their head round, because I fit. I mean, and that was my first moment where I've got into my head then that Richard and Gwalia were planning to get rid of me. You know what I mean? Basically, that Richard Wright was setting up something to get rid of me, and I think that attack on Rob Davis Court on October, was it the first in 2017, was his way of sealing the deal. You know what I mean? And my neighbour, who's known as Robert Mainwaring, also agrees as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I should have never been in Paul Davis's property anyway. You know what I mean?
No.
That's why I've always said I need to be in my own flat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's hope I'm.
Yeah. Well,
Let's.
let's see
Mhm.
what she says then when she does get in touch with you.
The problem is, what they're too busy saying, we need to follow this legislation, that legislation. Legislation doesn't save lives. That's the problem.
Mm.
That's why I've got the environmental coming in and so forth. Nothing against Paul Davis, but I just want to get into a home now.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
And I mean, and if that can put a bullet, no, not bullet, a bomb up housing options arse or something, then the better. And on top of that, um, I've the person that was supposed to fly over here and all of that and so forth. I've been ignoring them, but they've been, contacting me and saying they're going to be here this I mean, this Monday and everything. But me and my friends are just like, nah. I mean, they probably the ones that were hacking my accounts and all that in the first place.
Yeah.
So I've been ignoring them as well. So, and I've noticed now my bills, uh, I mean, are much better. And oh yeah, how much do I owe Paul Davis now as well? Because I know he's been taking extra £50 as well.
Mm. Let's have a look.
Because that's what I'm being too worried about. Because the debt is Kanuki is taking extra 50 without my permission.
3,416 pounds.
Oh, okay. That's, yeah. I mean, it's a lot less than I thought. I thought it was around about three
Yeah.
thousand
Yeah.
six hundred. But okay.
Yeah. Well, it probably would be, but those extra 50s are chipping away at it.
Yeah. And on top of that, now, I got good news as well. Yeah, I mean, my OVO bill's coming down as well. So the debt the
Yeah.
hacker put me in. But the one thing I've lost out of all of this is my Lloyd's TSB bank. Well, sorry, Lloyd's bank account. I've lost that. I did have my, as you know, I had two bank accounts, HSBC
Yeah.
and Lloyd's Bank. I've permanently now, because of the hacker, because they put that into -500 and I couldn't pay that back. I've totally lost that now because of all of this.
Right.
I'm fuming on that, but yeah, it seems like I keep losing trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, the knowledge I've got, if I turned out, if I was a real, SOB, the police won't be able to keep up and so forth. because I mean, because I'm one of these people that thinks of the consequences, and I never dirty my own doorstep. I would always do things like far away. I mean, if I was an evil sob, but I'm not. So I don't know what's gonna happen,
No.
now I've got a deadline. Then I'm gonna start heating things up my end as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Okay.
I was gonna bring back my computer today and from storage
Mm.
and start putting out loads of posters and everything. But I've only got my laptop here. But
Mm.
it looks like then I'm gonna have to expose all the authorities and on a multiple level, on a much higher level, because they might just put me on on the streets, and I've got a lot of exposing to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And okay, so thank you for phoning and letting me know what's going on, because I was in
That's
the
all right. No problem.
because I was in the dark on a lot of things.
Yeah, well, I said I would as soon as I knew I'd let you know.
Yeah, and same for me as well, because I knew nothing. You know what I mean? So that's why I didn't phone. I thought, what's the point of phoning you if I know nothing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
You take care of yourself, okay?
yeah. And you. All right. I'll speak to you soon.
Okay, take care, man. Bye bye.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, that's Ben and from SA Properties. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, I mean him. I mean, we don't get a lot of information from housing options and all these other things. Me and him have been like going around, and every time we get a little bit of information, we phone each other quickly, like, "Do you know about this?" He's like, "No, no," yeah. And then he phones me like, "Do you know about this?" "No, no." We're like that. We keep each other. I mean, because I mean, you hear stories when people are being evicted and all that and so forth and everything. I mean, most of the time people, I mean, don't pay for, because they're just keeping it and stuff like that. But mine is, I've had my money hacked out of all that. The landlord always wanted to sell this place, even when my mum was here. You could see in my mum's eyes there was pressure. You know what I mean, and basically because the West is Murray haunted, I mean, on so many levels, we then basically have this lack of care because everything is so money driven on so many levels. Because and like you and me, that I mentioned about illegal immigrants, but illegal immigrants is only a what I would say a symptom. The bigger problem is, like I said, is actually the UK people themselves. And I know a lot of people are not going to like me saying that, but what I have seen as a fellow, you know what I mean, person of this country, because I'm born in Cymru, in Wales, or Cymru as people know it as a fellow countrymen. And basically, I mean, if it wasn't illegal immigrants, I mean, the British people and all of that and so forth, but actually people, are starting to say they just Welsh, just English, Scottish, and Irish and all that. If it wasn't for illegal immigrants, people would be looking for something else to blame other than themselves, right? The problem is, it's us, the public. We're too busy blaming others all the time instead of going, hold on a minute, what's really going on? You know what I mean? There's a, and like I said, there's only a small percentage of us that are like looking into it and all to what's really going on. So when we then try and tell the rest of the public, the rest of the public are ignoring. They rather have cognitive dissonance or be stupid or whatever. They choose to be stupid. You know what I mean? Or whatever. And then they're wondering then why prices are going up, this, that, and everything else. They think this is how stupid it is, right? Yeah, there's bills to be paid and all that and so forth. But end of the day, who controls bills? You know what I mean? Bills isn't controlled by a deity or a god or anything like that. It's us, the people, right? And so at the end of the day, if we decide to say, hey, we've had enough, we need to sort this out, and so forth, and everybody agrees to say, hey, we're gonna challenge. Not maybe not challenge, but say, hey, we go up to Parliament. Say, hey, we're not gonna be doing jobs for you no more. In other words, you're not gonna pay taxes towards Parliament no more. You're not gonna pay taxes to the so-called authorities anymore. Instead, everyone's going to keep that money, and you're going to just direct it to the services that you wanted in the first place, that it should have gone to, right? Because a lot of the money through taxes and all that and everything else, taxes is theft, as many of us have now realize. I mean, it's the establishment way of stealing, without the public knowing. And so, let me just have a drink of this. So, when you basically like me, I get people excuses. They go, oh, I need my job because bills are going to it. Oh, I need a job because food prices. Oh, and I mean, so you're just looking at the symptoms. I mean, you're just looking at that, and so forth. And a lot of the jobs a lot of these people are in are the very same jobs that are bringing about the surveillance state. You know what I mean? You look at the people that are building the data centers and all that and so forth. You can't blame the Parliament or Congress or whatever. They say, hey, oh, you the government, you're doing this and all that. But who's building these places? Yeah, I mean, it's people from the public, maybe in special corporations or whatever. You know what I mean? But it's people from the public that are building these places. You know what I mean? Building these AI data centers for surveillance. You know what I mean? It's the public that are building, because they're using excuses of, oh, I'm just doing my job, while building the very items, building the very things that are bringing about the demise of the human race. You know what I mean? So, so when I sort of like, and the thing is as well, like I mentioned to somebody from Swansea Council recently in another video. And and I'm sort of like primary evidence, right? When I went to go and take stuff to storage, I mean, on one of the heated days, this year, I mean, about a week or two ago, and when I was coming back, I collapsed on I mean, on the side of the street. You know what I mean? And I had to pull myself, I mean, over onto the grass to be under the shade. And lucky for me, I had water in my trolley and all that and so forth. Uh, I mean, I was laying there for about 30 minutes, and people can't blame illegal immigrants for this one. Most people in Penrell and Gosignan that were driving past that day did not stop. I've seen this done many times with other people where somebody has fallen and so forth. I've gone across and helped out, but I see most people don't do that. You're like robots, machines, just going past, going, oh, and it's driving on. It's like watching people from GTA 5. They just walk about, but just turn the head, keep going. And it's like, what the heck? You're soulless. A lot of people are soulless now. There's no compassion. There's very little compassion in the United Kingdom. Too busy thinking about money and all of that, you lot are. And yet, here's me with like next to no money, with zero money and all of that. And I'm looking into things and all of that and speaking out against the corruption, against the evil and all of that and so forth. And then I get demonized. I lose things, I all that and so forth. And on top of that, I still have a smile on my face. I still have fun and all that and so forth. And guess what? Which is gonna piss a lot of people off. A lot of you are not going to heaven because you haven't picked up your cross to bear. Like I said, you know what I mean? But by me just saying we need to stand up against governments, we need to stand up against authorities, we need to stand up against all of this stuff. You and me on the phone. Who was like that? Jesus. Jesus didn't go, oh, excuse me, I'm a good taxpayer, I'm a good person with a job and all of that. No. He went after the money lenders. Oh yeah, just by the way, the taxes that people are paying for and I've paid for and all that and so forth. Yeah, goes to the banks, by the way. Because the governments are taking up loans from the banks, so your taxes are going back to the banks, pay back the loan and all that. But really, we should be using the pound rule and telling the bank cartels to go F themselves. But anyway, because keep going the way we go in, with I mean, with no 100% of the people, of the UK standing up, the banks are going to own everything. They're going to own all the resources of the United Kingdom. Do you want that? Because you can bitch as much as you want to, to 10 Downing Street and all of that, the Parliament, when they ain't running the show. They too busy. Yeah, I mean, going along with the bank cartels and all the others are telling them what to flip and do. Just letting you know that. So if any of you thought, going out to vote and all of that, yeah, you wasted your energy in that. Anyway, um, so and the thing is as well, you know what I mean? When you look what Jesus Christ was doing and so forth and all of that, right? He wasn't going along with the authorities of the day. Back then, it would have been like the Roman guards and stuff. I mean, the centurions and stuff like that, right? Today, it's police officers. Yeah, yeah. I mean, people didn't make excuses. I mean, people who followed Christ and all that didn't make excuses to say, oh, the police are just doing their jobs and all that. Or sorry, the centurions are just doing their jobs and all that. Yeah, you had the gullible idiots, you know. What I mean, those would always be slave-minded to the fucking state to be going, oh, the centurions, they're keeping us safe and all of that, yeah. While beating, while sacrificing Jesus Christ on a flipping cross, you know? And you gotta ask yourself, how many of you have picked up your cross to bear? I mean, I sure flipping have, especially the stuff that's happened to me. I mean, I'm speaking out against authorities. I'm speaking out against the corruption. I'm speaking out against the establishment that's going after children, doing naughty things to them, and so forth. I'm speaking out on so many levels. I'm telling people what's going on. I've even told you know, neighbors, be careful of this certain doll that they want kids to have because it teaches them to have, yeah, I mean, to have sex and all that, to play with the vagina on the dolls and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And these dolls are like 3-year-olds and all that. But you know what most people do around here around the Penrose sign area, like, huh, that doesn't happen. Most people are like that. Oh, that doesn't happen. And people in Pontus like that. Oh, that doesn't happen. And you're wondering why the PDFs get away with things because you don't even want to know what's going on or look into things, make sure the children are safe. Next time, I mean, and this is the thing as well. This shows how hypocrites the UK people are, right? Just yesterday, I was watching a video from BitChute where children in Palestine, yeah, I mean, uh, yeah, I mean, there's stories about them getting raped and blown to bits and this, that, and everything by the IDF and so forth, right? And and the thing is as well, the Palestinian people did not cause this to themselves. No, we in Europe sent people to to the area of Palestine where then Israel was created. That's caused so much warfare over there. You know what I mean? And the thing I was found out as well, for video where what was it called, the Shiras or something like that. But the Middle East have had what America have been going on going. Oh, we've had democracy for a long time. Guess what? Middle East have had a version of democracy way before Britain and America, way before. I mean, and the jokes that I hear of people saying, "Oh, we're gonna bomb the Middle East and it'd be an upgrade." Wrong. Whether people saying we're gonna send them back to the Stone Age and all that. Put it this way: if you're using that comment of "we're gonna send them back to the Stone Age," referencing the West's Stone Age, what you're doing, if you try and bomb back to the Stone Age, Iran and ours already had democracy even during the UK Stone Age. When you think about it, think about it. Anyway, but yeah, you know what I mean. So if you guys go on BitChute and you type in the Crow House, there's a video up there just in a day or so, and it shows you the horrors that the IDF has done, and these and the taxes have come from the once you know where it comes from and you see these horrors, you quickly link that the horrors have come from like UK taxpayers' money and the US's taxpayers' money as well. And and don't forget, we've got Starmer and Trump, who are both Zionists, who support Israel. Yeah, I mean, and the world don't. I mean, sort of like when they talk of Britain, they generalize like, oh, so all Brits must be behind this, but then when these things just start going on social media and stuff like that, you know what I mean, that's the only way the rest of the world are noticing that not everyone in the US of A, not everyone in the UK is supporting Israel. The only reason why people are supporting Israel because they think that's the same Israel from the Bible. It is not. Israel is not a place. And on top of that, anyone who's actually read the Bible and so forth, or listen to it, because you know what I mean, I know I'm dyslexic myself, so you're probably doing the same as me. Listen to it. I have now tried reading it as well, and you know what I mean, there will not be an Israel put in the place until Jesus comes back. And Jesus does say, you know, I mean, those that call themselves Jews are not Jews, sort of thing. They are the synagogue of Satan, sort of thing. You know what I mean? I'm paraphrasing that. You know, go and check it out for yourself. You know what I mean in the Bible, and 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 basically, you know what I mean, that's how we know the Israel that's there today is the false Israel, the Edomites and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And there's people like Tidwell that's doing the Synagogue of Satan series. And he's looking at the genealogy as well. You know, he's put a thesis out there on the genealogy of the people and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Of who the true Israelites are and stuff like that. And he's, his thesis, you know what I mean, is pointing, you know what I mean, his theory, his thesis sort of thing, is pointing towards the Europeans and stuff like that. Where he looks at the Bible saying the people that went north and all that and so forth, which is very fascinating, very, very interesting. and and in harsh, so in the end times and all that, or where the Christians, will be facing a lot more hardships and all that and so forth. While the rest will be going along with the mark of the beast. And there will be some Christians as well that will fall away from it. There'll be people that will fall away from the church, and they will take the mark of the beast. And we've started seeing that. We're seeing Satanism. Within the churches a lot more. We're seeing was it uh the word keeps flickering back in my head. I know it's not the right word. So, Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what I mean? Type of attitudes. You know what I mean? Because we've got, was it like LGBT churches and with the rainbow flag and all of that and everything, and they're thinking, the true divine is going to welcome them into the to heaven or whatever. You know what I mean? No. And if you look at the Bible and all of that properly, uh, and everything, and yeah, and there are many people now saying that when the devil tried to tempt Jesus and tried to offer this world to Jesus, Jesus didn't. What I've seen as well. I don't see Jesus going, "No, this is my Father's world." No, I don't see Jesus saying that. So that is now led myself and others to believe that the devil created this world. You know what I mean? And when people are saying the God of this world, we support the God of this world and all that and so forth, are they supporting the devil? You know what I mean? Because when you think about it, a lot of things happening in this world is of a sinister nature that the devil. And the thing is, as well, the devil doesn't have to do much. You know what I mean? Because when you think about it, all he's got to do is nudge people, say the right thing and all of that. You know what I mean? And in some phrases, the word Satan and all that or whatever is classed as the accuser. So, what is a good way of accusing people by getting them to do stuff first, and then when you die, you face Satan, and then he accuses you of things. Like, you did this, you did that, you did. You know, I mean, I just, all he would do is just say, "Oh, I just, give you the idea. You went ahead and did the actions." Where have we seen that mentality, that way of doing things? Oh yeah, governments come up with the ideas, or the people that they work for come up with ideas, and then the public goes and does them. Yes, people in parliament or the people that people in parliament are getting ideas from, past ideas on, are also guilty. But those that are doing the actions, like the police and all that, the police can't say, our hands are clean when you're doing the actions. You know what I mean? Yes, somebody else may come up with the ideas, legislations, and all that, but if you're doing the actions and you're causing the harm and all that, you're guilty as well. Because you're still men and women doing the actions. Doesn't matter what uniform you wear. So in the military, doesn't matter what uniform you wear. You're still men and women, and you're still doing the actions. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter if you people in the councils and all that, and you go, "Oh, we're authority with it." No, you're still men and women. You know what I mean? You cannot have excuses of basically, "Oh, I'm just following what Parliament says and just following the legislations," but you're still doing the action of harm to other people if you're doing the harm. That's what, numerous of people have been trying to get through people's heads. You cannot hide behind government because government doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Go and pull government out right now. Bring that person here named government. Go on, bring him here. so we can now lay down everything that's been going on to the person in government. Go on. Doesn't exist because it's just a corporation name. It's just a title. So it then falls back on the men and women under that title that's doing the harm. That's, you know what I mean, on a parliamentary level, doing the processing of the documents. Then for other people further down the line in councils and housing groups and, you know what I mean, and charities, this, that, and so forth, that are, you know, the ones that are linked to what they think there is a government, you know what I mean, are doing harm. By going along with something, you're letting harm to be done to others. And the thing is, when you think about it, I mean, a lot of these charities and mental health places needs the system, the state, you know, to cause people trauma. Otherwise, the mental health groups and doctors will not have patients. When you start looking at things in a clarity and logical way, the system, the people who win it, don't like it because in their minds, they're going, my wage pack is going to be affected. So they come out to you and try to silence the person that is speaking out and so forth because they're not thinking, oh, that person's right. Oh, you know, we should help them. They're thinking, oh, my wage packet's going to be affected. So they either try to silence them or let harm be done to them. Isn't that right, South Wales Police? How many times I've spoken out against the stuff that's happening today, but people that have listened to my shows back in 2012. I mean, back then, I said to people, it sounds crazy right now. You're watching now. You know what I mean? In about 10 years, all this stuff will be happening. We're seeing clues of it now. I mean, people would go off. They say, yeah, I've seen like smidgens of what's going on right now. You know what I mean? Back in 2012 and 2013. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, we get to today, and some of those people have come back and they've said, I used to do a show called The Lionheart Show. And people now come back to me and say, shit, the stuff you were talking about back then, we've seen most of it happening today now. And and we all agree. It's not because I've got a crystal ball or anything. It'd be cool if I did, though, wouldn't it? But but like many researchers out there, and I mean, and a lot of your researchers can testify to this. All we do is follow the clues. We listen to the people that are saying they are rolling this out, they're rolling that out, they're doing this, and we're just listening to the people that are saying they're doing it. You know what I mean? We've listened to the puppets, you know, like Elon Musk, you know what I mean, and Bill Gates and all of them and so forth. We've listened to the puppets like the Rockefellers and all that and so forth. But then some of us go behind the scenes of all those people. You know what I mean? Deeper. The ones that don't get thrust into the light, but they stay in the shadows, and we dig a little bit deeper. You know what I mean? Even some with no names, even. You know what I mean? So if people say who it is, I call that group now the cult of no names. You know, just to give them a name. And by calling them the cult of no names, I'm giving them a name. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, it's very interesting. You know what I mean? And the thing is as well, like, you know what I mean? And the reason they can get away with it, it's not because they're clever and intelligent and all that and so forth. Because you know, some of them are very intelligent. It's the naive attitudes and the cognitive dissonance of the public. That's the reason why they get away with it. You make excuses for them. You know what I mean? It's funny how my name on Skype for a long time was no excuses. You know what I mean? And like my uncle Gary said about me, when I was a youngster, you know what I mean? And then when he then met me years later as a growing up, he said, "You've changed." Because I created a persona called No Excuses. You know what I mean? And I got it into my head. You know what I mean? Because I was seeing another family member making excuses all the time. Oh, I can't do this because of this. I can't do that because of And I was like, huh? And I could see nothing was getting done. So I got it in my head. Right, I'm going to create something that's almost like a sigil, you could say. Something that I look at and and that's what I got to realize. And money doesn't make people work. Bills don't make people work. You know what I mean? Those ain't the true factors of work. True factors of work is effort. I mean, money systems can die tomorrow. Think about that. All the economies which are dying right now, they're like fish on an embankment trying to jump back into the waters, and but yet they're dying. Despite some fish can actually move across the land if they're going through paddles and stuff, but not. But a lot of fish, once they are on the embankment, they die, and that's what the economy is like now. Trying to get back in, you know what I mean, and back into rivers so money can flow again. You know what I mean, that sort of thing. And so when the economies have died and all that, and all these arrogant people, these ignorant, cognitive distant arseholes within the public that have gone around to people that they think have less wealth than them and all that, when most people's, actually some people's wealth that I know isn't money. It's their compassion, the love they have for people and all that and so forth, and care, true care. Because when you true care about something, you'll do something about it. So when I see all these people complaining about the government and all that and not doing anything about the corruption, the tyranny, and all that, you don't care, really, really, do you? No. That's why you stay hidden. That's why you don't speak out. That's why you don't do anything, because really, you don't care, do you? You don't care about the neighbors, next door to you, do you? That are speaking out, saying things, trying to get your dumbasses to actually bring about a decent world. You don't have the care, do you? I mean, people around here know I care because they see me walk the streets with my trolley, with the posters on the side, trying to get others to realize what the fuck is really going on. I'm not heartless. I care too much. You know what I mean? Also, the genders I'm exposing shows I care more about the children than the parents do around here. Think about that. By me putting my neck on the line and the authorities keep trying to come up to me and say, "Hey, shut up," shows I'm hitting a nerve. Not I'm breaking their station or nothing. I'm hitting a nerve that the evil fucking beast knows I'm close. Like my friends have noticed and all that. You know what I mean? And the stuff I've said to them behind the scenes. And I've shown them, a lot of the information. They know I'm over the target with a lot of stuff I found. I'm way on point and all that. I mean, and yes, since 2020, I've haven't done as much research, because I was looking after my mum and stuff like that with the help of my neighbor and my brother. You know what I mean? But when I was on my own in my own place and everything and so forth, the amount of stuff I found over the years and so forth locally, not just on the internet but off the internet, the authorities don't want people to know. But yet I, linked it, put it through my shows and so forth. A lot of you have downloaded those shows from Spreaker. So the word's out there. You've grabbed the information and all that. Because now I've noticed some of those links and all that now, those websites, they've gone, but you've already grabbed that information, some of you. So you guys, you know what I mean? If any of you from Spreaker or visit this channel, you can still get that information out because I don't have it here at the moment. You know what I mean? My hard drives are in storage and all that. So that's the thing. You notice how people, will complain about you if you're speaking the truth about things and all of that, if it affects their comfort. They don't care about truth and the harm that the system and the establishment are doing and all of that and so forth. As long as they, I mean, they they've got their comforts. Notice that? But there's an old saying as well. When you got just one person that doesn't have freedom and they're enslaved, the rest are actually enslaved as well. Do you know what that means? When you got that one person enslaved or going through harm or wherever, then it's the duties of others to help to make sure they're not enslaved no more, and there's no harm to that person ever again. What do we see in the UK? There's people that are homeless. There are people going through harm from the authorities and all that and so forth. And I mean, we got the establishment, kidnapping children, I mean, and doing disgusting things to them and everything else and so forth. And don't forget, when authorities raises taxes and all of that, and that has an effect as well on the utility companies. And then when everything gets then, I mean, the cost gets passed on to the public, and then the parents then can't afford those costs and all of that, and then the parents end up homeless. What happens to the children? Yeah, they either become homeless or end up in social services. Trauma is done. The authority in the establishment causes child abuse, and you all want to keep voting for child abuse. Interesting. Once you actually look what's really going on and you pull back the veil and, like the old analogy, once you see who the wizard is behind the scenes, nothing, just a pathetic being. And that's what government is. This so-called big illusion, once you pull back the veil, it's just people being dicks. And they don't have any more power than you and me. They just have pieces of paper and legislations where people in the police go, "Oh, we're just following this, we're just following that." You know what that says to me? Excuses. Police are not brave men and women. Not all of them, anyway. A lot of them make excuses. A lot of them just children thinking they're part of a family. And you can see in a lot of police officers' eyes, they've been abused on some level. There's trauma there. That's why. Yeah, I mean, even police notice this when they've come to me. I mean, I don't hit them, and I mean, and they don't hit me. We talk. There's a reason why I like talking, because we need to get deep down in this country to deal with the traumas of the United Kingdom. We gotta face the traumas of the United Kingdom for anything to be resolved. All I'm seeing is a bunch of fucking grown up children. Nowadays, people past the age of 18 and upwards into their 70s and all that, haven't dealt with their traumas. And yet I'm trying to deal with mine every day while I'm being dealt with more trauma all the time. I'm trying to deal with my fucking trauma each and every day. and yet people telling me I need to grow up. No, I'm dealing with my shit, but yet I'm being dealt with more all the time. It's about time, United Kingdom, we all face the traumas that's really going on here, because otherwise it's never ever gonna heal. And just voting, that's you saying you can't handle your own trauma. You want somebody else to do it. I don't vote because I don't want to pass the buck. Why are you passing your power over to other people that are fucking useless? People in parliament are useless. People in the councils, I've noticed, are fucking useless, because things are getting worse in the United Kingdom. That's how you can tell they're useless. Like it says in the Bible, about judging people by their fruits. Think about it. Do you think homeless people on the streets is a good fruit or a bad fruit? By the actions of the authorities and all that. No, that ain't good, is it? No. The debt of the nation in the trillions by authorities. Is that good fruit or bad fruit? Yeah, bad fruit. In the UK public having cognitive dissonance and ignoring everything and making excuses, saying, oh, that's conspiracy theory, oh, that's tinfoil. Good fruit or bad fruit? Bad fruit. People being scared when knowing that they should be doing the right thing. Is that good fruit or bad fruit? Bad fruit. And here's the thing: if you believe in Jesus Christ and all of that and so forth, and you see him as the savior and all of that, why are you scared of death? Is you being scared of death when you're supposed to believe in Jesus Christ, who was supposed to have defeated death itself? Why are you scared of standing up and dying for the right thing? And but then, if you believe in Jesus Christ, then when you have then life after, when the meat suit dies, what's there to be scared of? That's why I speak out, because I believe in Christ. Like Christ says, you know what I mean? Where he goes, I am the way. Governments ain't the way. Governments are just men and women. Think about it. If everything else is just a synagogue of Satan. When you think about it. And did Jesus want religions? No, Jesus didn't come and go, hey, you know what? I'm going to set a religion so everybody can bow down and worship me and all that. And no, he didn't come to start religions. The reason why we have religions in the world, because so many people, and I mean, are basically going along with evil. Religion and Christ are two separate things. Doesn't he say? Doesn't say it in the Bible? Did Jesus says about the way to to the Father and all that is through Him. Doesn't say the way to the Father is through the Vatican, or did it? No, it doesn't say that, did it? It doesn't say the way through the Father is through Trump. No, it doesn't say that, did it? No. It didn't say the way to the Father is through Labour or Conservative Party or Liberal Democrats. No, did it? No. Also, it didn't say the way through to the Father is through voting. No, it doesn't say that, does it? No. Um, so what's wrong with you all then? If you lot believe in Christ, it even says in the Bible, you cannot have two masters. You're either for the government or you for the Father. the way through Christ and all that. You can't be both. That's why I don't vote. You know what I mean? And there's like being a couple people in my family that says I'm harsh. No, I'm not harsh. I'm not being of the world. I'm part of the world, but I'm not being of the world. There's a difference. Many people that's read the Bible are like, you know what that means. You know what I mean? Yes, I could go out and I mean have I mean back in the days when I was younger, I had opportunities to start my career and all that, and I mean one of the jobs I was offered was like 20 grand a year and all that and so forth. I mean it was in computing. It's funny, I'm in front of computers right now, and I turned it down. Something inside me went, no, this isn't your path. So I turned it down. So you know what I mean, as my friends, my family know, I've always, I mean, followed Christ and all that. Back then, it was more of like a lukewarm level, and I mean, and when I got baptized and all that, I mean, in my adult years, I mean, because and one of the things I heard after my baptism, I mean, a few years later, which makes sense to me. I mean, when you have people that go baptizing children, babies, and all that, and so forth, I mean, I used to think that was cool. That's pretty awesome. But then I heard somebody say when they were reading the text and all that, it makes sense to me what they said. It was basically that the person has got to come to Jesus and all that, to be baptized and all that and everything. They got to make the decision for themselves, and that then. Uh, at first, I was like, "Huh?" So that was pointless, and that the people baptizing the babies and all that. You know what I mean? But and the thing is, well, the baby's just been born and all that. So why would you baptize a baby when they're actually sinless? I mean, they haven't done any harm or anything. You know what I mean? So they in God's graces already. You know what I mean? But also, I know where my thinking was. Okay, baptism gives them extra protection just in case. Pretty cool. You know? But when the person was like, then saying to me, well, it was in a video, but it felt like it was saying to me when I heard this person speaking, and they were saying that, I mean, people, I mean, once they get to a certain age, I mean, I mean, and you believe in Christ, then you should go off and get baptized and all that because then you are consenting. And I thought, that's interesting. So that got me thinking on so many levels. And because I was over 18, 19 at the time and I consented, I mean, I was, I mean, I was reading both books. I was reading the Bible as well as the Book of Mormon and other stuff. And I've been baptized, I mean, multiple times. I mean, I mean, and I was like, yeah, I get it. I get it. But yeah, so, and when I do piss people off as well, when because I see this system in place as Satan's system. So when I hear people give me the government version of work, which is a job and all that, and I see how arrogant a lot of people are with their jobs, how pathetic and how, I mean, hurtful they are towards other people. I mean, and when they see those in need, but yet all they do is spit on them, kick them and all that and so forth. I'm like, hmm, I'm supposed to behave in this society's way, this diseased, fucked up way? No. You know what I mean? And and the thing is, we've seen the Tower of Babel rebuilt. Many of us have called it out. You know what I mean? There's been quite a few YouTubers that have been kicked off YouTube for pointing it out as well. You know what I mean? There's been loads of people censored, and yet, yeah, I mean, when you see like the ones with like massive follow counts speaking out and all that and so forth that are still here, you know what I mean? You've got to ask yourself a question: are they shills? Are they agents and all that and so forth? You know what I mean? And look at me. You know, some people will look and say, "Oh, you got over 1,000 followers and all of that." Yeah, but people who know YouTube, you know what I mean? To be known as a big YouTube, you got to have over like, yeah, I mean, a few 100,000 to millions of followers and all that. Yeah, I mean, my number of followers is like a village. You know what I mean? But yeah, so yeah, and the thing is as well, because somebody asked me as well. Yeah, I mean, because they said to me, "Do you go to a church and all of that?" Yeah, I mean, I said, I don't go to a church where they speak lies and all of that to learn, but it is time. I mean, for a lot of us that walks in Christ and all that, to go to those churches that are speaking lies and that, not to listen, but to cleanse. Think about that. Because if we're truly of the way of Christ, you know, Jesus would walk straight into his churches and say, "Hey, cut this BS out. You know what I mean, you need to stop this. You're putting up blasphemy. You know what I mean, and all of that. You know what I mean, and because and I think as well. You know what I mean, when you sort of like read the passages and all that, and also you see, you know what I mean, video forms of what Jesus was talking and all that. He's not inside some building and all of that and so forth, and passing the collection plate round and all of that and so forth. That is mankind's concept, not his. Yeah, I mean, and we notice as well with parliaments, Congress, you know, royalty and all that. They tell who they think is lesser people to bow down and kiss their feet. But yeah, you look at Jesus in the Bible, you know, the King of Kings washes his followers' feet. Think of that. So we see these arrogant people like Bill Gates, Melinda Gates, you know what I mean, and you know, Trump, Elon Musk, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, you know what I mean, BlackRock, you know what I mean, the black nobility and many, many others, wanting all of us to be their slaves and bow down. And they've, you know what I mean, doing harmful things. Isn't that a perversion of what Jesus did? Yeah, Jesus, King of Kings, he's washing his disciples' feet and all of that and so forth. Basically teaching, you know what I mean, despite I got all this power and all that, and I could use it for evil and everything. No, I'm here to serve. And when you look at examples of King Charles, and you know, for one, And you look at all these other technocratic companies, you look at the bank cartels and so forth, all the money they have and so forth. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that they use charities as a cover to do their evil operations. Think about it. So, on that note, you can either keep lying to yourself and keep going along with governments to the point where the establishment by 2030 and so forth will have the digital system in place at 100%, and the smart surveillance and all of that. And like Klaus Schwab said, I mean, he wants like 99% of people out of their jobs through, I mean, through the industrial revolution or the fourth industrial revolution, where 99% of men and women are out of a job. Think of it, out of a job. That means something else will take over. The machines and all that and so forth, AI and much, much more. So then, how are you going to feed your family and all of that if you don't have a job? Is something trying to tell you that mankind has been hoodwinked on saying you need a job to survive. It's not a job you need to survive. It's not the money you need to survive. They brought in money as a whip to keep people enchained. Keeping in all those lovely chains and all that. It's effort and energy, and work is just energy and effort and actions. It's not money. Money comes and goes. How many people are you seeing that have been destroyed on so many levels that can't get what you call job and all that and so forth for money and all that because the system has destroyed them. So if governments and all of that and those in the system want those people to have a job and everything else, why did they destroy those people that they can never get a job ever again? Think about it. And all they did was speak the truth. And yet, people in the system and people around them destroyed those people for just speaking the truth. So, are we a world of who wants evil to rule, or are we a world that wants to make sure the children are safe? Because right now, going along with these authority systems and all of that and a lot more, you're condemning the futures of the children and yourselves. Have a nice day. Take care for now. And there's no point getting mad at me because deep down, you know, you too have left this happen. You lot have let all this happen. Be angry at yourself and do something about it. Learn, find out what's really going on. Don't destroy any of the infrastructure around because we're going to need it and use it. We need to hold those that have brought about this evil to account. And those that didn't know they were bringing this in, because all they were thinking about was getting money to feed their family, you don't hold those to account. You hold the ones that brought about this agenda through their ideologies and so forth, and then pass it on. So let's do it. Oh, and the police. because you've arrested those that have been speaking out and exposing all these evil agendas, and a lot of you have known about it. A lot of you are not going to get a pass. You too will have to be dealt with. Bye for now.